Alright guys, Supreme Kami here. So today's video we will be going over the sweeping force. In yesterday's video I pretty much went over how to use the martial artist form. This time around we'll be going over her other form. So let's kind of quickly go over the stats. Because I am using a double altar, so that's why my stat kind of peaked just a little bit. So otherwise we are using Fiona, Lin, and then Yulan right there. The most important things to note is you do want to have a 6-star Lin. That's the only requirement because in terms of what this team primarily wants to do, it's going to be discharging a lot. Hence, we will be able to proctor, I believe, should be the 6-star advancement for Lin. When you discharge 3 times, you do recover. So that's the primary goal. We want to spam as much of the Moonlight Realm. As far as Fiona and Yulan, I think they are capable at just 0-star. This is the only big investment. Other than that, it's pretty much self-explanatory. So as far as Matrix C, I went for the following. So Fiona, and then on Lin, I went to put in Yulan just for that. Reason being why, because we will be doing fairly a lot of attacks from Yulan's weapon first, so this is why this one would be able to proctor a little bit more easier than if I were to use Lin put on herself. So that is why I swapped them. But other than that, you can pretty much use anything you want. Or I guess in terms of this specific comp, you don't have like a main weapon that's on you to like for a long duration. So I feel like having background matrixy would definitely be a lot more better, right? So the main thing to go over now in terms of what you want to do with her, the main thing you want to do is you want to prioritize, activating the discharge for Yulan first, because before even discharging, if you don't discharge, you will not be able to get the fighting spirits. So that's the only thing you want to do. So the very first rotation, you won't have the fighting spirit active because you have not discharged yet, because you're not in the anticipated state. So that's the only thing to note. And then other than that, after that whole rotation, you just want to make sure you do go back into discharge with Yulan every 10 seconds to proctor that 1000 weapon charge, and that's pretty much it. We won't really focus too much on like what kind of attack pattern, or we're going to be using any dodge attack, because we will be spamming a whole lot of discharge to begin with. On Fiona, in terms of her, we will be using the Hydro Focus and then the Torrential Force. As far as the traits, we will not be using Yulan's, because when we are using Torrential Force, we get a lot of benefit from using that ability. Torrential Force gives a little bit more perks. That's why we will not be using a Yulan's trait. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So we can now hop over to the Parse. So I'm not going to be doing it on the states or this location, because we're gonna fall. So that's why I'm gonna hop back into Memoria, where we will have that cactus. So we'll change location right now. Alright, so we are back at our good old cactus. So as far as the rotation tips, I honestly can't really give any. This team is mindlessly just spamming discharge, and that is pretty much it. So whichever way you find it really comfortable into discharging into, primarily speaking on Fiona and then Yulan, you're good to go. And then just obviously go back into using the Moonlight Realm for Lin, for Lin, and that's it. So let's kind of get started. I don't know how it's gonna go, because for me it's different every time when I use it, but generally speaking, this is what we will be doing. So you guys can see that the weapon speed charge is fast. So I think at this point in time, we can just discharge back into Fiona and then proctor everything. Discharge into Yulan. So we can use the skill like right here. Do this, right? Discharge back into Fiona. So okay. Bam. So I think we're just gonna do a quick few normal attacks right over here, and then do this before we use the skill once again. So it's pretty much just doing a whole lot of discharge, right? And then just make sure you do keep those counter in check, so you know when to kind of swap back into Lin, right, or Lin. Let me proc the skill one more time. I'm being a little bit greedy here. Shouldn't we really be doing that, honestly? Alright. Come on, let me activate that. Perfect. I guess I'll stay on her. So it doesn't really matter what you really stay on at the end of the day. Can I get the last one? Alright, can do that. Every 10 seconds we did proctor that, so that's why we would discharge back into. We can discharge again. And we can discharge again. And we can use this her Moonlight Realm again. This team is crazy, man. Yeah, this setup right now at 1 minute and 30 seconds, we hit 70 multiplier and roughly about, you know, a good 195-ish damage output. So it's good. But like I said again, in terms of this overall setup, it's good on the cactus. It looks great. But how does this look like in actual combat? Let's actually hop into a quick JO and show how that works. Alright, so I lie. I'm not going to be doing joint offset. We will actually take it into the sequential. This stage is actually, I guess it gives you guys a good idea of how it works with multiple enemies and then with single target. So we'll be getting a lot in this 4 minutes right here. So that's why. I don't know how far I can get, you know, right? Alright, so discharge, obviously. So weapon speed charge really fast in this setup because Lin, for those that does not know, actually does get weapon speed charge as well. So we are getting a whole lot in here. Dead already. Wow. Alright. So we just spam this just for it and we can discharge already. Make sure to get those Moonlight Realm active as well so you don't forget. Alright, another one. So every time we use a skill, it looks like there's that tiger. I believe that tiger actually gives off some damage as well. If I remember the description. All right, we are making our way into pretty good numbers already. Discharge. I think I'll stay with Lin just a little bit until I get to the next discharge, right? Because I do want to discharge back into Yulan. I'm gonna start activating the overdrive because I need some juice. Alright. We'll stay on here just a little bit longer. Discharge. This should do a lot, right? Alright, no, I can just do this. What am I doing? Alright. Alright, I think I can use the skill once again. Discharge into Fiona and then discharge into this. Alright. Alright. I should have stayed just a little bit longer, but I want to get the skill out of the way. Alright, perfect. Man, we deleted her field really fast. Oh my god, this team is crazy. Like, this is definitely an expensive build, obviously, because you do have to have Lin at 6-star, alright? So, that is the only expensive portion of it, and other than that, anything else besides that should be fairly free to play, I guess, in a way, right? I'm just doing a few dodge attack because our health is leaking, man. Alright, gotta prioritize that few again, so that's why we're gonna do this. And we're back. Alright. And we still got a whole minute left. Wow. Dodge attack. Alright. And we are back to full health. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's get more health back. Discharge. What? Alright. Let's do that. I'm just gonna wait 3 more seconds. Why not? Discharge back into Yulan. What? Can I use the skill, please? Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Discharging. What's next? We have this one, huh? Okay. Alright. Activate that. We are almost done, guys. We are done. So conclusion, this form is really great for the double auto team. If you don't have Increase, right, this is I guess the only alternative to go for, I want to say, just because in terms of what Yulan's doing as support, doesn't really give up too much like all elemental damage anyways. She's more focused on giving frost attacks, so you can't really mix and match into like a loot team like that. So that's why I feel like the double auto team is definitely the best case scenario. But other than that, we were able to get up to almost 3,800 sequential point for the frost team. So pretty powerful, obviously. But other than that, that's pretty much it for me as far as like a realistic speaking situation using the archer team. So pretty strong, right? Other than that, that's it for me, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one.